morning. I am coming to you from my fuzzy moo house coat because it's chilly this morning. Thank you for letting me come to you just dripping in beauty, and next time I'll probably look a little more presentable, but like no promises. And I want breakfast, so I feel like I just want to get right into it. Today I wanted to make the Molly Baz, I don't remember what she calls it. It's like a breakfast smash burger, but instead of beef, use like pork sausage, like breakfast sausage. This is gonna be my take on the smash burger of breakfast from Molly Baz, who makes this in inspiration of the smash burger from George Motz, which incorporates, you know, the really thin smashed patty with the really thin onions on top, and you just like crisp them up. Very exciting, but I'm super hungry and I feel like I just want to get right into it. Let's just get started. I am using just an English muffin that I have buttered up, and I'm going to toss in the pan just to crisp up a little bit. Then comes my onions. I have like a half of a pretty small onion here actually, and I don't even think I'm going to be using all of it. And if you have a mandolin, perfect use for it right here, but I don't. So I'm just going to try to get them as thin as possible. Even this is kind of too thick. That right there is like perfect. You can see through it. I just want to get a good mountain of them. And I'm just making this one, so that's why I'm really not using a whole ton of onion. But if you're making this for a crowd, plan accordingly and just adjust your ingredients. Oh, these ones are perfect. This is probably actually too much, but when is it ever too much, you know? And she does do things a little differently. I'm like kind of making my version of it. So I'll try to link or write out the recipe from her down below, but you can obviously play with this however you want to. My little sausage ball, I like to smash before I put it in the pan. It's just easier for me, so I always just roll into a little ball. This is a very small amount of breakfast sausage because I'm making a smaller sandwich, but if I were using like a burger bun, I'd probably use one twice the size. This is probably like golf ball. I like to put them between parchment paper because she gonna stick, and parchment paper makes it a lot easier, even though it does tend to stick a little bit to the parchment paper, which is super annoying, but what are you gonna do? Find a big flat thing like this plate with my toasty English muffins on there. Even distribution of the weight, just push down and make it real flat. Really put your back into it. You want it super thin. Ooh, a little thinner. And this will shrink, even though you can see it's a little bigger than my muffin, but it'll shrink. I'm ready to go over to the stove and cook this off. My version of events here are bread first, patty with the onions, and then my egg. This on like a medium heat. The butter left over from my English muffin. And now we're going to carefully and delicately transfer the patty. And I'm gonna put the onions right on top here. Just kind of let them chill out with the sausage. What I'm gonna do is cover this so it steams the onions just a little bit before I turn it over, but I wanna get that sausage good and crusty. Partial assembly happening right now. I've got my toasted English muffin. I put some Kewpie on the top and bottom and a piece of American cheese. Then I'm gonna put my sausage patty, which looks heavenly. Like, look at that dark and crispy thing with those soft onions. So that's gonna start to melt the cheese, which is what I want. Then on top of this, Molly likes to put some hot sauce, but I'm like not into the hot sauce. So I wanna get some sort of tangy element in here, which always for me means pickles. So I made some pickles, which I will also write out the recipe down below. Super easy. So I'm just gonna pop these on here. Now for the egg, the last thing over here. I'm gonna get back over to the stove and then make whatever kind of egg you want. I'm going scrambled for this, but you can do like an over easy, over medium, over hard, poached, whatever you want. I like to put mine on like a medium high heat, fast scrambled eggs, but I want them soft as well. I like my eggs with like bigger curds in them. I think it just tastes better that way. And I like them just done. I'm actually going to just kind of do this a little bit, try to get it in the shape more of that English muffin. Piece of cheese on there because always cheese. I'm gonna turn the heat off, let this melt for a second, and then the final assembly. I've decided I want some ketchup. I think that'll taste good too. I love breakfast sandwiches and I love ketchup on breakfast sandwiches. Carefully transfer my egg and then crown your king. That is a breakfast smash burger sandwich. Oh, look at how perfect that looks. In the past week or so, I have made a few of these, trying to get every single morsel of things right. So I'm gonna go devour this in the other room, but I do know it tastes good. It tastes delicious. The thin sausage patty just like really just takes it over the edge with the craggy ends and the onions pressed into it. So good. Gives such a good sweet crunchy flavor. And the soft egg with the cheese and the mayo and the pickles. Don't knock it until you try it. It's a fun little take on a breakfast sandwich and it's delicious. So you might as well enjoy.